it's ever, for me as a person, been more prevalent than here in Morgan, Utah. So I'm here today to cover the trial of Joshua Morgan. Joshua Morgan is a real estate photographer that you can look up his channel. It's called Twilight Real Estate Photography. Now, Joshua Grover was contracted by the owner of a townhouse to take pictures of the townhouse so that the townhouse could be sold. The problem for Joshua Grover was that not only did that person own the townhouse in Morgan, Utah, the lady next door owns her townhouse and the person next door owns their townhouse, and down the line. Now, here in Morgan, it's a population of about 4,400 people. Joshua Grover is black, and 0.1% of the population here in Morgan, Utah is black. So the trial is being conducted by a white prosecutor, a white judge, and an all-white jury. Now, you can say that it doesn't matter, it's not important, whatever you may decide to say. From my perspective, it is extraordinarily important, the racial positioning, the racial aspect of this case. So now here in Morgan at the courthouse, I came in early this morning. I got here at 8 a.m. and I went to the judge's and I asked the judge, I requested that I be able to film this trial from beginning to end, because one of the attorneys here named Mary Couperon, C-O-U-P-O-R-O-N, Mary Couperon, is one of the top 50 female attorneys in the United States of America. Now, the judge denied my motion, but what he also said was that I would have an opportunity to request the video and audio that the court produces after the trial's over. So then I requested that it would be okay if I kept my cell phone and my laptop so that I could take notes and be able to communicate with my team, and the judge granted me that. So I am able to bring my phone and my laptop into the courtroom. Of course, the judge has already explicitly told me I'm not allowed to record or audio record it. So as you guys know, I have been to jail. I'm not going back. So I'm not going to audio or video record any of this, but I will file a motion when the trial ends to be sure that we're able to get the video and get the audio from this courtroom. You guys do me a favor, double tap on your screen, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button if you're watching at home. I have a lot to cover here, so I want to take as much time as I can to cover the nuts and the bolts of the actual trial. So originally, when I met with Your Honor Brower this morning about being able to film the proceedings today, he denied that request, but the caveat was that I'll be able to request the video and request the audio from the court when the trial concludes. I can bring in my laptop to take notes, which I have right here. I'm taking notes of everything being said. Then something really strange happened. This was and there's only a few people in the court, and the few people in the court are the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, Joshua Grover, Utah Cop Watch, Jose, and myself and the judge. So we get to the opening statements of the trial, and first goes the prosecutor, and the prosecutor lays out their case against Joshua Grover. And they say, and if you guys have not seen the video, you guys can watch it on this channel, or you can go to Twilight Real Estate Photography. It's his #2 most popular video. It's an hour long, and it shows the entire event with the Morgan Police Department here. So with that being said, I then listened to the prosecutor's opening statements. The opening statements that the prosecutor said is that Joshua Grover was completely non-compliant. He resisted arrest. He was rude. He was abrasive, and he was acting in a voyeurist capacity when he was taking pictures of the neighbor's townhouse and shooting into their back patio window. He didn't specifically say voyeuristic, but that's what he was implying. So I listened to the opening statement from the prosecutor here at the Morgan County Courthouse in Utah. And then right after that, we had the opening statement from the defense, which is Mary Coperon, who is one of the top 50 female attorneys in America. She gives her opening statement, and as I'm taking notes on my computer to be able to report back to you exactly what she said, I'm listening to her, and as I'm typing, because I can type and not look, as I'm typing, I'm okay, I'm shaking my head, okay, I'm getting what you're putting down, Brown, and I'm sitting here typing into my computer what I'm hearing and what she's saying, and the feedback loop. You're hearing something, you hear it, so you're, okay, I'm hearing this and I'm typing it, right? After the opening statements by the prosecutor and the defense counsel, then the Honorable Judge Brower then says, okay, we're gonna take a 45, 50-minute break for lunch. Excuses the jury. We all stand up, the jury leaves. Then we sit down. Now in the gallery is me and Jose from Utah Cop Watch. The judge then says this, there's two people in the gallery, me and Jose from Utah Cop Watch. The judge then says, I saw some body language from some people in the gallery that I can't have in this courtroom because I can't have you sway the jury. When I was typing what Mary Coperon was saying, and I was nodding my head like this, the judge said, I can't have anybody in the gallery making any kind of motions to influence the jury. There's only two of us. So then I say out loud to the judge, was that me, Your Honor? Did I do something wrong? And he said, yes. When you were taking notes during opening statements, you were nodding your head yes. And if that happens again, I'm going to tell you to leave. So you're telling me that the state's position is that if there's someone in the gallery of a court and they're shaking their head yes in agreement or just verifying what I'm typing on my, the Honorable Judge Brower is to believe, or for you to believe, that me shaking my head yes in the gallery is going to influence the jury? It's just one of these things where your presence is not allowed. You're not allowed to be here. What you do and how you do it isn't allowed in this courtroom because you nodded your head yes. And it's just so absolutely preposterous. It is. If I could speak with Judge Brower face to face, man to man, sit across the table from him, I would literally tell him, Your Honorable Judge Brower, that's some bullshit right there. Me shaking my head yes in a gallery when you have chosen and picked your jury, and there's only 4 jury members, which I thought was a little weird. I thought there would be, I'll talk about yes during an opening statement, that I'm somehow influencing a jury. You know, I feel like we've given judges in this country just a little bit too much power, a little bit. And initially, when I first interacted with Judge Brower, you know, I respected the fact that he said the First Amendment is a powerful, important thing, and so we have to look at allowing recording this trial. And then just like Obama, who signed the Patriot Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, he said, well, you know, I'd like to, but I'm going to deny it because you didn't put it on a Utah form and for whatever reasons. And then just sitting in the courtroom and shaking my head yes is enough for the judge to be able to say that shaking my head yes now equates to me influencing a jury, which is beyond the pale. It's beyond the pale of understanding. You know, yeah, like Mikey B just said, if you fart in the gallery, I mean, like, it's just too much. It's just too, and you guys may not understand. I did not get kicked out. I got my head yes when I hear someone speaking is an attempt, or could be considered an attempt, to listening. And if the jury is going to be influenced by me nodding my head yes versus the witness testimony, the evidence, the video evidence, well, if Joshua Grover is acquitted, which he should be acquitted for simply taking pictures when he was hired to be there, to sway the jury to acquit Joshua Grover, then the state had no case at all. The state had no case. So to even insinuate that me shaking my head yes as I type on a computer, that is absolutely unbelievable. It is. So the reason why I came here, and I'll be media, what we do specifically on this channel is we help people who have been cheated by the cops or government officials, and it's on camera. To Utah to the very minimum try to help Joshua Grover, but to cover his trial. And the only way that I could possibly help him is by giving it the media coverage that it deserves. And you guys do me a favor, hit the like button. We only got 65 likes. Got to get a few more. Freedom, brother. Rest in peace, Kirk. So you know, we have all of these things going on here at one time. They're all going on simultaneously at the same time. Joshua Grover's being prosecuted for taking pictures, doing his job on a townhouse property where the next door neighbor who owned her townhouse decided that he was taking pictures of her townhouse, shooting pictures into her back patio. And then the cops come there, they, from my perspective, wrongfully detain him, put him in torture cuffs, put him in the back of the caged car, and then give him a citation for resisting because he didn't put his wrists behind his back fast enough. Because he didn't, and then, to Mary Coperan's credit, right after the prosecutors said that he resisted arrest, when the cop told him to put his arms behind his back, there was a struggle. Then Mary Coperan got up there and said, hold on a minute, you'll see on the body cam video that when the officer went to handcuff Joshua Grover, you can see one hand behind his back with the cuff on it. Then you see Joshua Grover take his other hand and put it behind his back. So it's just unbelievable. Where are we at? Who's here? Put team DLZ in the chat if you would, please. Please put team DLZ in the chat. Put it in the chat. Team DLZ. Put it. I'm going to read some comments just so I can. Are we a little choppy here? Let me try to get. It's so damn cold out here. Let me go into the courtroom lobby so that we can get a little bit better reception. And so this is the Morgan County here. Okay. So hopefully this will be a little bit of a better shot, and I'm not too backlit here. Do we have a little bit better reception here so that it's not so choppy? Just trying to see it. Right, GS, yep. I was just honestly kind of dumbfounded when the judge said that somebody in the gallery is making some sort of body positioning that could sway or affect the jury. So simply by me nodding my head as I'm typing, in other words, I wasn't nodding in affirmative, I was nodding that I was putting down what she was saying out loud. But apparently, if you nod your head, then you're trying to influence a jury, which I think is an insult to the prosecutor's case. If the prosecutor's case is so weak, if they don't have the witnesses, if they don't have the evidence, and they don't have the video confirmation that Joshua Grover is guilty of a crime, then somebody in the gallery shaking their head yes, that's not exactly a compliment to the prosecutor's case. The prosecutor's case is nil. They don't have one. It's on video. Now, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna try to break down the statute of resisting. They're gonna get, so you guys can look it up. It's Utah statute of resisting arrest. And then the other statute that he's charged with is failure to identify. Again, that's in Morgan City, Utah. And that's gonna be, I don't know the statute number off the top of my head, but you guys can look it up. Is that a little better? Do we have less choppiness now because I'm closer to the internet? Hopefully. Rancho Relaxo, what's going on? Boiled Corruption is here. What's up, Playboy? Team DLZ all day. You guys put it in the chat. Team DLZ, put it in there. We don't stop. Put it in the chat. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. Put it in the chat. It's like Look at what the state is doing. And I'm not just talking about the state of Utah. I'm talking about the state, and that could be Missouri, Minnesota, Alaska. It could be the state, could be federal. Look at what they're doing. And let me lay this out for you, because I took a lot of notes on this as they were giving their opening arguments, both the prosecutor and the defense. So the prosecutor argued that they had been called to the scene by a resident of Morgan City named Bailey Turner. Bailey Turner had a baby in her townhome. She saw someone taking pictures. She called the police, in my opinion, like a Karen. So the police show up, but they don't have any grounds to charge Joshua Grover for voyeurism because he's been hired by the next door neighbor who also owns their townhouse. And so when the police get there, they go to the owner of the townhome and say, hey, does Joshua Grover have permission to be here to be taking pictures? The owner comes out of his house, says, officer, do you need my identification? Officer says no. And then the owner of the townhome says, yes, I hired him to take pictures of my townhome and the surrounding areas to sell it. Then the officer says, can I talk to the real estate broker? So real estate agent. So then the officer gets the name and number of the real estate agent. The real estate agent is called by the officer. The real estate agent informs the officer that yes, Joshua Grover has been contracted to take pictures of this townhome. That's what happened. That's what happened. So the original intent of the call by Miss Bailey Turner of Morgan City, Utah, is that someone's outside my home and they're being a voyeur, they're being a peeping Tom, they're taking pictures of me inside my townhome. A couple things happen here. First, Joshua Grover says, would you like to see my film? Would you like to see the pictures so that you know I wasn't taking pictures inside of her home? And the cops say they don't want to see the pictures. So they've confirmed that Joshua Grover is supposed to be there from the owner of the townhome, from the real estate agent who contracted Joshua Grover. They confirm that he's supposed to be in the backyard taking pictures, supposed to be. Then they go to Joshua Grover and they say, give me your identification. But it's already been dispelled. There is no more reasonable articulable suspicion. If there's no reasonable articulable suspicion, with reasonable articulable suspicion, according to the 2004 case of Heibel versus Nevada 6th District Court, it says that if there's reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime in a stop and ID state, that you have to give your first and last name, total. It does not say in Heibel versus 6th Judicial Court of Nevada 2004 that you have to give your identification. This moment here, where the police have determined that it's not voyeurism, it's not peeping Tom stuff, and that Joshua Grover had a right to be there, this moment comes now to the next moment, which is, give me your ID, tell me your first name, last name, and date of birth, which Joshua Grover says, no, I don't have to do that. I'm not gonna do that. Then, of course, the police escalated. They put Joshua Grover in torture cuffs, and as you know, put it in the comment section, torture cuffs are always torture. Then they put Joshua Grover in torture cuffs. During the process of putting him in torture cuffs, during that process, the police say that he's resisting arrest, but he's not under arrest. He is not under arrest. He has not done anything to be arrested for. He's done nothing to be arrested. They investigated the call, and that's the 1972 case of Adams versus Williams, that the police can perform a Terry stop based on a phone call. Terry from 1968, Terry versus Ohio. The police did their investigation in total. The reason they were called there was for a peeping Tom voyeur. Then they decide they're going to escalate this and violate Joshua Grover's Fourth Amendment right by demanding his identification. When he says, I'm not going to give you my identification, the police escalate it and put him in torture cuffs. During the process of torture cuffing him, he catches a charge. So the original intent of the call to protect the citizens, to uphold the rights of homeowners, of individual citizens in this county of Morgan in Utah, totally understand that. I respect that. I respect a peace officer keeping the peace. No problem. I have no problem with that. Your rights are worth being defended, as are mine, as are all of ours. Peace officers' job is to uphold and preserve our civil liberties so that society can function under the rule of law. Thomas Hobbes, The Nature of Man. Without the rule of law, it would be a war of all men against all men, bellium omnium contra omnes, a war of all against all. This is Hobbes' philosophy. The original intent of peacekeeping, of making sure that Miss Bailey Turner's rights are being preserved and upheld, to go to see if there's someone outside of her building that's a peeping Tom, that's voyeurism into her house, taking pictures of her and her baby, that has been dispelled. During a Terry investigation, the police are allowed legally to detain you. However, the police dispelled the notion that he was there being a voyeur when they talked to the townhome owner, and the townhome owner said, "I've hired this man." Then they take it a step further and say, "Let me talk to the real estate agent." They then call the real estate agent, who confirms, "I've hired Joshua Grover with Twilight Real Estate Photography to be there." At that point, we now realize Miss Bailey Turner's rights are not being violated. This is not a voyeur. This is not a peeping Tom who's taking pictures into her house. That's not happening. At this point, the Terry investigation should come to a total end. The investigation should be over and it should be closed. But instead of that being a thing, what they do instead is they then decide that they're going to illegally, unlawfully, wrongfully violate Mr. Grover's Fourth Amendment right of an unreasonable search or seizure by seizing him and detaining him and putting him in torture cuffs. That's the trial I'm at right now. That's what we're seeing here. That's what's going on here in Morgan, Utah. Do you understand that? If you understand that, hit the like button. If you understand that, double tap on your phone, tap right on it, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up right now. Get it. Thanks for the super chat. I think it's from what? What? Thanks for the super chat. What? So now look at, now this, once again, if I could speak directly with Your Honor Brower, who just warned me that he would kick me out of the court for simply nodding my head as I was typing, I would inform Your Honor, I wasn't nodding in agreement. I wasn't nodding in affirmation. I wasn't nodding in confirmation. I was simply nodding as I was typing, understanding what I'm doing, because I type about 60 words a minute, but on my computer keys, I have to make sure that I'm not typing too loud in a courtroom. So I have multiple processes going on in my mind as I'm taking notes for you guys so that I can truly report what's going on in this trial. In no way, shape, or form did I look at the jurors. Did I try to communicate with the jurors? Did I shake my head and look at them and go, No. It was very light. It was very simple. I was simply just typing along, getting what I was putting down here, Brown. I totally understand. I get it. This kind of power overreach. Now, and this is the argument, are you telling me that a member of the gallery who has a press shirt on, a member of the gallery sitting there typing and nodding his head yes, is enough to sway the retired cop who's on the jury? There's a retired cop. I don't want to go too far into saying anything about the jury or any way tamper in any way, shape, or form, but there's all kinds of people on this jury. And so when you have people on a jury, you pick a jury who's going to be responsible and a custodian of upholding the law, because when you uphold the law, when you uphold the Constitution, when you uphold our rights, you uphold a society that works, that isn't going to be based on whoever's the strongest can decide what might is right. What are we seeing right now in our country? Might is right. This is the reason why this administration is continually trying to apply the military or the National Guard, because the more power they have, the more they're right. They're right. But the idea that me shaking my head like this as I'm typing is going to somehow influence a jury is preposterous. If you can spell it, put it in the comment section. preposterous. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. The idea that now listen, I understand that I have a lot of personal power, I got a lot of energy, but me shaking my head yes inside of a courtroom, if that's enough to sway a jury, then we don't have a judicial system. It's a kangaroo court. If someone sitting inside of a gallery of a courtroom shaking their head yes is enough to influence the jury to acquit Joshua Grover because I agreed with the defense counsel's opening statement. Let's say I totally agreed. Let's say I was sitting there and I was like, oh yeah, preach, honey, preach. And I was all for it, right? But that was not what was happening. Let's just say it was. If that's enough to sway a jury in this judicial system, then the system is broken and needs to be completely rethought. It needs to be completely and utterly rethought. Because I apologize. This isn't about me. This is about Joshua Grover. If you guys haven't seen his video, I covered his video. It's called Massive Injustice. Check out the video that I did a live stream on about 4 days ago called Massive Injustice. It's on this page. Find the video. One of the moderators, I don't think you can click on links in here, but one of the moderators can find it and put the link in here. Jeff Hates Pigs is here. What's going on? Stomper, how are you? Sean, what is going on? Always use your trifold, always. As a matter of fact, when I came here, I brought a bunch of trifolds for people who are here. I gave different trifolds to some folks that I met here along the way. So that's what's going on here now, and it's 12:46 now. I mean, it's just crap. Honestly, it's just crap. That judge just warned me to kick me out of the courtroom for nodding my head yes, that is just crap. I mean, I just don't, yeah, there it is, Massive Injustice. It's right there. Thank you, Greg, I appreciate that. Thank you, Team DLZ, I appreciate that. What's going on? If they had, oh, I think you got blocked, dude. I was trying to read your hate comment and one of the moderators blocked you. So it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Listen, and I know a lot of people say a lot of things, but man, if you got cheated by the cops and by the government on camera, wouldn't you want somebody to come and cover it and show it? Because, and by the way, you know, we didn't, the sad part about the fact that they denied my ability to film in here is that you guys are not going to get to see Mary Couperon and her amazing ability to be listed as one of the top 50 female attorneys in all of America. And I'm watching her work in here, and you guys don't get to see it. You don't get to see it. It's just amazing to me that they continue. You know, Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, she recently has applied to the federal court to get cameras in the courtroom for the trial of Tyler Robinson, who is accused of killing Charlie Kirk. And I know you guys put a 1 in the chat if you have a lot of different ideas about how and why Charlie Kirk was killed. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a lot of different ideas. Stomper with 5 gifted memberships. Thanks, Stomper. I appreciate your support, man. Thanks a lot. So yeah, because this is you know, we have to get cameras in the courtroom. And what Erica Kirk has done, if she's able, and by the way, we didn't get cameras in the courtroom for Diddy's trial. We didn't get cameras in the courtroom in any federal trial. And eventually that dam has got to break. We have to get cameras in the courtroom. We have to get cameras in all courtroom. And then the second thing that has to happen, and this is a page off of Susan Bassey's playbook here. Susan Bassey knows for a fact that we should not have to pay for transcripts, and that's one of her big fights. They broke her hand over transcripts, Susan Bassey in Northern California. So you can take your phone now and plug it into the audio, and if your phone can hear the audio, then there is AI now, and I'm not talking about ChatGPT. There's other AI, they're audio AI, and that audio AI will not only list every word said, you can then ask that AI to categorize, clean up, and subject each different section of the audio that the AI is hearing. The fact that we have to pay for transcripts in 2025 is a total scam by the courts. It's a total scam. I just would like to go to lunch with Your Honor Brower. I'd like to sit across the lunch table from Mr. Brower and ask him candidly, how is me nodding my head in affirmation? Explain to me how in the world that's going to influence a jury. How are you going to influence a jury? How's that possible? How's that possible? I don't think it's possible. And oh, by the way, I can lay out who is on the jury in detail, and it's not a violation because it's a public trial. So telling you that one of the jurors is a retired cop doesn't in any way, shape, or form put me in contempt of court. The judge even said out loud before we broke, this is a public trial, all information here can be disseminated, but you can't shake your head yes in the gallery. And that's, and you guys know, Your Honor Brower, inside of his courtroom, it has the power of God. That man can have me arrested, have me detained, have me held in contempt of court, have me put into a cage. He can hold me in contempt of court. I think it's up for 180 days. I believe, I'm not sure. Someone can look up the statutes in Utah, but I believe a judge, I can't remember where I looked that up, but I believe that you can be held in contempt of court for up to 6 months in jail. So I'm not going to do anything in Brower's courtroom that would lead to me being held in contempt of court. So now when I take notes for the rest of the day today, I'm going to have to be very mindful of my body language. Right on, man. Thanks for the super chat. All police judges should be on polygraphs every month. I totally agree with you. I don't know what that is. Oh, is that Indian ruples? Is that 40 Indian? I don't know what that means exactly. Hey, Johnny Bad. What's going on, Johnny Too Bad? How are you, dude? Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. It's good to see everybody. I've only got limited time. I got about 5 minutes left here before I got to go back into the courtroom for the actual trial, because there was jury selection, and then there was instructions to the jury by Judge Brower, and then there was opening statements. And so now we're at the point where the jury has been selected, the jury instructions are clear, and now the opening statements by both the prosecutor and the defense have been made. And now it's going to go into the trial phase of it, where they're going to start to call witnesses, submit video evidence. And if you guys watch that video over on the one right here, Greg B, if you can put that in the chat, you can put in there that this is a miscarriage of justice, that it is a massive injustice happening to Joshua Grover. And as a member of the press, I have to come here and I have to cover. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. It covers some of the fees and stuff I've had to pay to fly out here. Thanks for that gift. That's cool. I got a gifted box on the screen. That's amazing. I'm here from India. It's rupees. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I can't say your name properly, or I would try to, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. So it means a lot. And then I'll take any questions you have. We got about 3 or 4 minutes left. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer those questions now. Melania, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Peace officers are here to protect and serve the government, not the people. Our judicial system is rigged. Judges, prosecutors, lawyers, cops all work together against the people. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with Melania. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with what Melania said. Thank you, Melania, for your comment. Kevin Gordon, Team DLZ, we don't stop. Then we have, oh, thank you, Greg, for putting that in there. You guys watch that video that Greg B is putting in the chat. That's Joshua Grover's story. By the time you're done watching it, the trial will be halfway over. So that's a good video. What's going on? Toyota Tom, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Good to see you, dude. Let's TVO is in the chat. Yeah, Erica Kirk should really worry about her own safety for sure. I agree with you there. And by the way, I do not endorse. I don't agree with Charlie Kirk. I'm not a fan of Charlie Kirk. At the same time, though, we can't go killing each other. You know what I mean? You can't go shooting people because they get more popular than you. And Charlie Kirk was a pretty popular guy, right? Charlie Kirk was a pretty popular guy. Yeah, you can't go shooting and killing people because you disagree with their perspective or their method or the way they move. You just can't do it. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with killing Charlie Kirk. I don't agree with Charlie Kirk. I don't agree with his death either. I'd rather listen to him and everything that I hate that he said than deal with murder. Thank you, Omega Eighter. Nice to see you, my friend. No, I live in Los Angeles, my friend. I live in Los Angeles. So, oh, Joshua, hey, come jump in here real quick. You guys, this is Joshua Grover. Hey, man, how you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling confident.
What do you think about the jury selection?
We did the best we could. There were a couple of jurors we wish we would have had, but we didn't get them, but we did get a good selection. So
Yeah, and
I'm
then
confident.
And then, what do you think about the judge so far?
You don't want to hear my real opinion about the judge.
Not yet, not till this trial's over. What'd you think of him telling me I can't nod my head?
He's picking on anybody that's supporting me. He's picked on me. He's picked on my attorneys. He's limited and restricted them on offering jury rules, advising the jury on rights. So, not a great judge.
What did you think of your opening statement by your defense counsel explaining that you did not resist arrest, you didn't do anything? And what did you think of the fabrication by the prosecutor saying you resisted and you were horrible?
The prosecution is desperate. That's why they're resorting to lying about the instance and what took place. My attorney did a really good job at representing the fact that I didn't resist. I actually did provide my ID for them.
Yeah.
We could have went into a little bit more detail. There's some things I do want to touch on with my attorneys, but I think so far so good.
Yeah, yeah, and so now the four members of the jury, one I'm sure you're not satisfied with, but the other three?
The one you're talking about is the cop?
Yeah.
We actually wanted the cop on the jury.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because the judge isn't allowing us to explain probable cause, reasonable articulable suspicion. And since they're not allowing us to explain that, we need somebody on the jury that understands that from experience.
Oh, so
it was a very smart decision by them. We were looking for people who were highly educated because there's nuances to this case that it's going to take a brain to understand.
Right.
And we were looking for people that are like me, self-employed, so they could also relate to providing services. We did good. I think I'm pretty confident with our jury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? You got about 2 minutes. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm ready. If they want to fight, we'll win.
We're going to check back in as soon as this trial's over.
Awesome.
Thanks, Joshua. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, brother.
Appreciate you. I'll see you in there in 2 seconds. Okay, so that's Joshua Grover. Please watch the video here on this page called Massive Injustice. I did the live stream 3 or 4 days ago. Check that out so you understand what is happening to Joshua Grover here. And then I think that after this trial, I'm gonna call to petition Your Honor Judge Brower for telling me I can't nod my head. I don't know. I'm gonna petition him myself. It was just such crap. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the memberships. Chevy's in the room. What's up, Playboy? Is that Chevy? Rancho Relaxo. Jeff Hates Pigs is here. All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight. What's going on? At Kansas State, at KS for rights, not nukes. Good to see you. Jeremiah Pete, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Gloria's here. What's the matter with you? Rancho Melania. Mr. Blackout, Let's OTVO. So good to see everybody, man. AKA Bolt 47. What is it? Yeah, I agree with you. AK Bolt, I agree with you, man. I just read your comment. I totally agree, dude. It is what it is. Nice to see you, Nick. Nikki, how are you? Good to see everybody. Yeah, I saw that. Three boy, what's going on? Jody Garner's in the room. Mr. Bones is here. I'm trying to find that comment. Omega Eighter, right on, man. Rico Suave, what's going on, Playboy? Yep, all good, all good. All right, listen, the trial starts back up at 1. It's 12:59 now. So I'm gonna go get my seat and get situated. You guys, I'll be live again in maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. I'm gonna go live again at the end of Joshua Grover's trial. And if you have not seen Massive Injustice on this page, the breakdown of what happened to Joshua Grover, please take the next hour and watch just the part of Joshua Grover. It's less than an hour, but watch it so you understand. Greg B is putting it in the chat. So watch that video. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, for the membership. 1 p.m. now. I got to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. All the moderators, all my friends in the chat, thank you so much for your ongoing and never-ending support. I really appreciate you. We are people-powered, and we don't stop. Put it in the comment section. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. I'll see you on the next one. Later, Gators.